Hi, welcome to another tip from KansasFisherman.com. I'm going to just talk with you a couple of minutes about putting new line on a spinning reel. Now, the things that we're going to talk about not only apply to an open face spinning reel, but also a closed face spinning reel, the type where you have a push button like a Zebco 33, that type of reel. So the same techniques that we're going to talk about here would apply to you if you're putting line on one of those kinds of reels as well. You know, one of the big issues with this type of reel, if you fished with them very long at all, you know, is what we call a bird's nest can occur here, where we're casting and everything seems fine one minute, and the next thing you know, we get all this line twist and the lines come off, and it's actually flowing off the reel. And we end up with, in some cases, such a big problem, we got to actually peel all the line off and start all over again. Well, a big part of where that starts is how that line is initially put on. So if you put it on correctly, you've taken a big step in eliminating that future problem with those so-called bird nests or rolling of your line off of your reel. Let's start with the fact that you need to put it on tight. I always use a rag or a towel anytime I put new line on any reel that I own. It's very important that this line gets on here nice and compact and tight. Over time, you're going to be throwing lures and you're going to be catching fish, and every time you do that, that's going to help you put the line on tight, right? But if the line that's underneath there is loose, you're just asking for problems as far as backlashes and bird's nests and that sort of thing. So just start out by making sure that your line is on very tight. You do that by simply running the fishing line through your fingertips, through a towel, and holding and squeezing it very tightly as you put the line on. Second thing is you want to fill the spool up to roughly a 1/16 or maybe slightly more than that, or a little less than that rather, maybe 1/8 of an inch from the top of the spool. The last thing you want to do is over spool a spinning reel. Frankly, if you make a mistake, you're better off under spooling it than you are over spooling it. If you get too much line on here, every time you throw that bail, that line will just peel right off on you, okay? But general rule of thumb for most of us, we get it up to about a 1/16 of an inch from the top of that spool, and we're going to be okay. Then the third thing, and absolutely the most important thing as far as keeping those backlashes, those bird nests out of there when you're fishing, is how you start out putting this line on. I have watched people just do it in all sorts of ways, and it's no wonder they get line twist. This is very important. The line needs to come off the spool in the same direction as what your reel is spinning, okay? So in this example, this reel is spinning this direction. So it is spinning counterclockwise, although in the video it may look like clockwise, but back here it's counterclockwise. Now, if I put this spool to where the line is coming off clockwise versus counterclockwise, every single time I make one revolution with this reel, I have put incredible line twist into that line. Every single time. Well, how many times do you turn that to fill up your spool? A lot, right? So every time you do that, you're adding multiple line twists on top of line twists up on top of line twists. Same exact thing happens, though not as badly, but it's the same concept, if you pull the line off the bottom or if you're pulling it off the top. The answer is, and if you're not sure, here's how you do it. The answer is you take your reel, you lay it up on top of the spool, you turn the handle, and whatever direction that spool is turning, you flip your line spool so that it comes off in that same direction. In this case, it happens to be with the on this spool, it happens to be with the name of the company and all of that right on top. But that's not always true. Sometimes it's the other way around, okay? So don't just think because the label's here, that's the right way to do it. It may not necessarily be the right way to do it. So if you're not sure, the best way to do it is take your reel off of your rod, turn it upside down, turn it, see which way it's going, flip your spool so it's coming off the same direction so that as it comes off and spools onto your reel, it's not adding twist. It's coming off in one direction, it's going on in the same exact direction. If you do just that and put it on tight, those two things alone will eliminate a huge amount of the problems that you have when you're out fishing and you get those bird nests and those line loops and all that sort of thing. So hope that helps, and until next time, good fishing. We'll see you later. Thanks.